Hello everybody! Brandon Carey here, and we are back with more Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. When we last left off, our client admitted in a public trial that they handed false evidence to Edgeworth for a serial murder case 2 years ago, which has definitely caused some ripples, and the trial has been suspended for on grounds that we cannot really continue it while the crowd is rioting. Which thankfully has the added side effect of buying us one more day of investigation into the murderer of Detective Bruce Goodman. So, let us take advantage of this extra day. Here is Emma. That's not your fault, kid. Not your fault, your sister will fuck up. Yeah, this is the part where she admitted that she did a bad thing. You don't submit false evidence. That's a big no-no in any courtroom. The Joe Dark killings. I mean, everyone here has been involved in these killings and we haven't, so of course we don't know what it's like. She used me. That's why she used what happened to me. Okay. Elaborate. It's all there in the file. Joe Dark's last victim was prosecutor Neil Marshall. He murdered Officer Marshall's brother. He left behind an incriminating piece of evidence. What does that have to do with you? When prosecutor Neil Marshall was murdered, Joe Dark tried to kill me. Okay, you were a potential victim. Neil Marshall was trying to save your life. Okay, I gotcha. You were witness to the crime. That's good to know. Tell me about it. Two years ago. Merry Christmas. So I'm in my sister's office. We were planning to eat dinner together once she finished her work. And suddenly, a terrifying man came bursting into the office. Joe Dark. Now, you see, I'm pretty sure that's like a pun off Dirk, which is like a dagger. He pulled his knife out and screamed at me. I didn't know what was going on. Just then, Prosecutor Marshall showed up. Alright. So we got... We got it. We got him. We figured out what happened with the killings, at least. Then he struck into the light went out suddenly. A bolt of lightning flashed outside the window, lighting up the office for an instant. Oof. That's some hardcore trauma right there. The moment when Dark stabbed Mr. Marshall. Okay, so he wasn't able to see the actual moment of the crime. Provided bogus evidence. The guilty verdict so badly. On a forged evidence, and Mr. Edgeworth used it. Mr. Edgeworth used forged evidence. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Probably knew this would have happened. You were a fucking... And you still are a child. Let me clarify. She is a teenager. She's still a baby. She's still a little baby. really was involved in falsifying evidence, but he didn't know it. And cold like she is today. What did you see in the instant that the crime occurred? The dark knocked down Mr. Marshall and raised the knife. Stabbed right in front of this poor girl. I don't remember what happened after that. Apparently, I passed out. I came to, Lana was cradling me in her arms. Jesus Christ, yeah. Yeah, she's been through a lot. I couldn't remember myself to testify about that instant. Our client has admitted to falsifying evidence in a previous court proceeding. Which, the resulting turmoil, because she is the chief prosecutor, means that we have one more day of investigation before we have to actually do some serious things. And her sister, our client, is telling us about the trial where the forged evidence was submitted. A serial murder killing. Made up my mind. I decided that when I grew up, I would become a scientific investigator. I'd be able to fight crime with my testimonies. You know what? That's fine. I can respect that. Even if you're trying to be a cop, fuck that. Fuck you, but also congrats for having a dream. Would never have to forge any. We got our social link up. We understand what makes Emma tick. Our social link went up. Justice Arcana. You said you were in Lana's office at the time, right? That's right. Why then would a serial killer come running in there? Not only that, but he was being chased by a prosecutor. He had been taken in for questioning that day? Halfway through the interview and fled into my sister's office. Okay. Room or right across from the elevator. Across from the elevator? Lana was the chief prosecutor, wasn't she? Years ago, Lana was a detective. She was a detective, not a prosecutor at the time. Okay. Detective to chief prosecutor seems like a strange career trajectory, but you know what? To each their own. Yeah, let's ask us about some questions here. That's an interesting career trajectory. You go right from detective to chief prosecutor. Hey, it's the forger. You do cause us trouble, Anna. Flying evidence. I didn't think you were the type. Criminals don't mind playing foul. Why should we? The person might be found guilty. Believe me, I understand the risks. We found out some shit. We found some shit, Lana. Tell us about the shit. I suppose you have a right to know, Mr. Wright. A lot of revelations were covered last time we streamed, for sure. A lot of stuff we found out. Back to another one 2 years ago. Evidence from that case was stolen as well, though I expected as much. I know how obsessive Officer Marshall can be. really wasn't fair. No! No, it wasn't a fair trial. There was forged evidence, obviously. What happened? You always stick to the truth. It couldn't be helped, Emma. At that trial 2 years ago, I sold my soul. The matter is, there was no murder in the police department. Doctor stabbed Mr. Goodman with a knife. What'd you tell us? Emma, this doesn't involve just me. It's true, I was a member of the police force 2 years ago. They still talk about all the cases she and Chief Gaunt cracked together. He was deputy chief of police back then, but he still worked the crime scenes. Alright. Damon Gaunt. He was everything I aspired to be. They did solve a lot of crimes, apparently. Now your chief prosecutor, what happened? What? Oh no! What happened? I always planned on becoming a prosecutor. The reason I became a detective was to gain experience investigating crime scenes so you could use that experience in court, right? Gaunt's help in the SL9 case was crucial to its resolution. After that, he became chief of police and arranged my transfer to the prosecutor's office. This Gaunt guy's a lot of fucking power. This guy was second in command of the detectives investigating Doc. Second in command? I mean... Yes, obviously that would mean Damon Gaunt's in charge. The same office and the same investigations. They even had the same office. They had a team of the best detectives on the force. Detective Goodman, whose case it was, Jack Marshall, and Angel Starr. It was the first time Marshall worked with his brother. He was quite gung-ho. I doubt Joe Dark was a serial killer. We asked him to come in for questioning. We were desperate for evidence. That was when his final murder took place. You see, the first person who happened upon the scene of the crime was me. Damon Gaunt and Neil Marshall were the ones questioning Dark that day. The investigation was in its final stages, and Dark must have suddenly panicked. So they waited until Gaunt and Marshall put their guards down, then fled the room. From there, he ran straight to the office shared by Deputy Chief Gaunt and myself. And that's when the murder happened. See, we're the first person to run the scene? It appears so. I was filing some papers while Gaunt and Marshall were questioning Dark. And... dead. In the office, I saw 3 bodies on the floor and smelled blood. 3 bodies. Prosecutor Marshall, the victim Emma, who had passed out, and the suspect, Joe Dark. During the struggle, it seemed Mr. Marshall struck a final blow before he died. Joe Dark had incurred a minor concussion and laid unconscious. To be honest, I panicked. I picked up Emma, carried her out of the room, and just held her. We're learning much in a very short amount of time about what happened in this case 2 years ago. To that, I placed Dark under immediate arrest. Let me get this straight. You were all involved in the SL9 incident. That's right. Quite a coincidence, I don't buy it. There's no way everyone involved in this trial was also involved in that incident. Just by chance. At least one person went to extremes because they didn't believe it was truly solved. Officer Marshall, yes, his actions came as a surprise to me as well. Ever since his brother died, he's changed completely. No, he wasn't. That much is clear. Life doesn't end with the closing of a case. Everyone has to live with the rest of their lives with their memories. Emma was assaulted by Dark at the police department, right? Yes, in the office that Damon Gaunt and I shared. The office that Mr. Gaunt now occupies by himself. The Chief's office. Yeah, it'd be worth looking at the Chief's office. Alright, looks like we were in the wrong place, though. Alright, let's go to the department entrance, and maybe here we'll find where we need to go. Oh, hey! It's Marshall! Howdy, Bambina. I never thought things turned out this way when I woke up this morning. Que sera, sera, you never know where life will lead you, eh, Bambina? I should have known my luck had run out when old Billy dried out this morning. Must be his pet cactus. Say, where are you headed? Just over to the prosecutor's office for a little interrogation. It's a voluntary appearance, but we all know I won't be coming back. Sorry, but you can't go in the evidence room today, partner. Why'd you do it? Why do prospectors head west? If ever there was a case I needed to know the truth about it, it was that one. Before you turn yourself in... Okay. Am I telling us stuff happened? Looks like I won't be getting a steak lunch today. Alright, tell us some stuff. Tell us some stuff. Someone's fishy about that trail from the very beginning. It wasn't just me either. All detectives thought so. Some of the facts reported were inconsistent with the evidence we found. For example, the murder weapon. That was Joe Dark's all right, but in the initial autopsy report, a question was raised. The blade of the knife was not a perfect match with the wound the victim sustained. It means there is a good chance that knife was not the murder weapon. That's interesting to know. We do know there is falsified evidence, so it's not too surprising. However, in the report that was finally submitted, that possibility had been erased. That case left behind scars on all of us. We're in some deep shit now. I got the looks, but he got the brains. He was one of the best prosecutors around. I had just made detective when it went down. It was our first case together. Talk about a way to open your career. And end it in the same breath. He was 27 at the time. He was awarded the highest honor that very day. The King of Prosecutors. What are you looking at me like that for? That's an honor for a prosecutor. It wasn't the same day as... That's right, it was the day of the evidence transferal. It was drizzling that morning, and by nightfall there was thunder. Can't believe 2 years had gone by already. Tried to steal the evidence so the case wouldn't die. The evidence locker was empty. There was something going on behind the scenes in that case. We all knew that later. Every detective involved in the investigation, save one, was taken care of. Miss Starr was fired and I was demoted and boxed away in a tiny room. What about Detective Goodman? They did something to him too, the commissioner would get suspicious. No, they were careful enough not to be too obvious. Don't get upset, Bombina. I mean Damon Gaunt and Line of Sky. Investigation lead Damon Gaunt and second command Line of Sky. There wasn't a person on the force who hadn't heard of that duo. That case was the biggest step in both their careers. After the case ended, Lana transferred to the prosecutor's office, right? Yeah, Damon Gaunt, the new chief of police, arranged for that to happen. She's never been the same since she left. Everyone who knew her said so. Chief Prosecutor Scott was totally different when she was a detective. I mean, yeah, that is consistent with Emma saying that she got colder. What happened to my sister? I don't know why I did that answer. That was her saying it. Sorry, Bambina, but her secret is too well guarded. Never found out. So Lana's got a secret, and we gotta figure out what it is before the case tomorrow. That's my story. Did you enjoy it, partner? One thing for sure I found out in the court today. That boy Edgeworth isn't my enemy. He was the one who used falsified evidence to get a guilty verdict. But someone else was the one who gave him that evidence and planned everything. That someone is Damon Gaunt. Don't believe me? Well, I don't blame you. I won't even be a patrolman after today. Too bad I won't be around to work with you when you become a real scientific investigator. Adios, Bambina. Now we gotta get to that the chief of police's office. Everyone's probably busy looking into what exactly went down in the evidence room. Good for them. Yeah, we proved that they weren't murdered then, but we did prove they were murdered earlier. Hang in there. We got this. No, that's not the high prosecutors. Oh, I guess we could talk to Edgeworth. Might be something here. Being questioned by the committee. He took a real beating in court today. Yeah, he did. Yeah, he sure fucking did. Come back later. So where do I fucking go from here? Criminal affairs. Oh, okay. It's always pretty empty, but today it's deserted. Looking for others, they're all in the conference room. Chief prosecutor saying what she did and the decision about what to do about Mr. Edgeworth, not to mention her statement to the media in tomorrow's trial. There's more chaos going on than Thanksgiving and Christmas put together. Oh, shit, yeah. Connecting hallway to the building and take the elevator to the top floor. You can just go into his office? You just ask and go into the chief prosecutor's office? Okay, she did ask the question. Hey, you're right. You can't go in there. It's off limits. Said the chief. Fair enough. He has an organ? He has an organ? I guess his theme is an organ, so whatever, sure. It's like a fucking clock tower. Yeah, that pipe organ, that's real, isn't it? They used to call me Little Miss Bach. Where's Seamus? Hmm? Oh, it's you two. So, Righto, have you been swimming lately? I've been kind of busy. I can appreciate that. I've had my hands full, too, with Mr. Marshall's misconduct. And Lana's provocative statement. 2 years have passed since that incident. My, how time flies. See that big picture on the wall over there? That's a picture of Lana, Neil, and me. Took it to commemorate our work together. Got new evidence. He's a very large man. Anyway, I'd like to reminisce all day, but there are matters that need my attention. I'm going to lock up here, so let's go out together. 2 years ago, wasn't it? That case has long since been over. There's no need to investigate it anymore. All this... Perhaps you didn't hear me. I said there's no need to investigate anymore. Now hurry up and get out. I have a meeting to attend. Well. Looks like we'll have to do some B&R. Chief got our request towards the crime scene. That means there must be a reason he doesn't want us looking around in there. So that will be our goal for today, it looks like. Let's see if we can find something to do. Some way of getting inside that damn office. Hey, pal. I am, just taking a breather. My feet hurt. Actually, from serving everyone coffee. Say, have either of you seen Mr. Edgeworth? Pal? The fire from both the police department and the prosecutor's office. Let's keep battles between you two in court. Oof. So you scream objection and point your finger everywhere. That's how that works, right? That's how it works. Objection. 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 That's basically what it all boils down to, pal. That falsified evidence 2 years ago. Now Mr. Edgeworth has the whole world after his blood. Doesn't matter. Probably. Regardless, the prosecutor is responsible for any evidence they present in court. Not only that, as you know, there has been a lot of rumors going around about Mr. Edgeworth. His amazing talent as a prosecutor has kept him safe from those who don't like him. But now with this, in our world, only those with talent rise to the top. Mr. Edgeworth not only has that, but he's young. There's no better recipe I know for making enemies. Yes, sir. Yeah, well, I'm careful not to stick out. Anyway, I'm a bit worried about him. Under all this pressure, I'm afraid Mr. Edgeworth just might crack. Find out anything? Dark left behind was during this final attack. So there was no evidence from any other crime scene except for the one that they falsified evidence for. Detective Gumshoe never realized Emma was the girl. It was the most incriminating evidence of all. The tip of the knife? I presume? Until we're in somewhere in here, okay? Yeah, it's the tip of the knife. Tip of the switchblade. It might jog his memory. Yeah, let's show him the murder weapon. Hey, is that? Yeah, at the tip. Man was murdered and suddenly disappeared from the locker. Found in Mr. Edgeworth's car muffler. I remember what that incriminating piece of evidence was. It was the tip of the knife. The tip of the knife. It's broken off. Back to the store we bought it at, plus it had his fingerprints on it too. That's where his luck ran out. Let me take a good look at the knife. See, it's broken. Yeah, well anyway, take a guess where that broken tip off the knife was found. That's what did him in. The victim, Neil Marshall, was carrying it inside his own body. Holy shit. It was deep. It was found deep inside the stab wound. You bet. Down to the last fiber. Well, you've learned some new information. 42 at the time of the crime. He was your run-of-the-mill businessman. One day on his way home from work, he hit someone with his car. An accident, yes, but it transformed him into an animal. He killed a man that witnessed the accident, then he killed a lady who saw the second crime. Jesus Christ! Did he really just fucking, lady who saw the flied all the way up the chain of serial murders? Of course, this is all conjecture. There wasn't a single shred of evidence. How do you kill all of those witnesses and not leave a shred of evidence? Even before a surveillance state.